All right, we're back. Katie and Ray. Whoop, whoop, Raceway Rant. We're talking about Miami. I don't even know what the zip code is. I just know that every time I think of Miami, I think of Mr. Worldwide. Is it 305?
305. I almost said 405, and I was like, that's definitely not it.
It's a 305.
I think it's 305.
Dale. To say all the Pitbull quotes.
That's scary.
Dude, that's so sad for him to be out now. Like, he was the owner of a team or a part owner of a team or something.
Mm.
And then, like, the first race of the year, he was like, you know what? I'm out.
He said, better not.
He still did, like, the pre-race concert and, like, the, said the most famous words in NASCAR, but he's like, I'm not gonna be an owner anymore.
Also, speaking of the most famous words in NASCAR, Morgan Freeman's was so weak. I was expecting so much more.
I know.
So much more. I was amped. I was ready. I was like, yeah.
Yeah, that's what Trent said too. He was like, oh,
like, dang, of all people, I would expect so much more from him.
Yeah. Well, he is like 89, I think I looked up.
Really?
I told Trent, I was like, okay, bro, he's ancient. And also, he's God. He's not gonna yell. He's 87.
Dang.
Yeah. I thought it was a profound, like, drivers. Start your in. Like, I don't know.
That wasn't even Miami, was it? I'm mixing my weeks. That was...
It was Vegas.
That was last week.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me shut up, actually.
You know what? Shut up.
No.
You know what? Best text I ever got from you. You know what? Did it just a cliffhanger for so long.
It was so bad. And you know what? You know what? I'm mad again.
I know.
So mad. I literally am infuriated by everything this week. Hands up, did not watch the Xfinity race this week because I was getting tattooed. However, I watched the truck race and I watched the cup race, and both of which I was going so ham all day long, and then I was like,
yeah.
I think Kyle Larson made me hate him even more. No, thank you. 2 for 2. Also, can we talk about the fact that Corey Haim looked at our Instagram post today?
Corey Haim!
I texted you.
I know.
Okay, right. So he hits up he doesn't hit it up. He looked at it. That's what he did. The literal dumbest Instagram story I have ever posted.
Amazing.
Literally with the arms of an angel.
That's
like,
so funny.
This is the one that you're gonna look at.
Right. Did you tag him in it? I didn't
Yes,
see it.
I tagged him and Blaney in it.
Yeah, no, Corey Haim's pretty cool.
Deals. He's literally my favorite.
Yeah, rip him.
I will say, even though I absolutely loathe Kyle Larson, I will say I am very thankful that he admitted that he would not have been able to beat Corey Haim. In that, if there wasn't for his mechanical errors. I was like, homie's truck turned off every 3 laps.
Mm-hmm.
So he had to, recycle his car or his truck every 3 laps to be able to maintain power to his motor. That is insane. And still placed 3rd?
Yeah. That was what I was going to say. The insane part to me is he kept falling back every time it would turn off, and then he would just zip right back up right to the front too. And then you could tell when it would turn off, and then he'd zip right back up. I was like, that's pretty impressive, to be honest.
He is so impressive to me.
Yeah.
He is so impressive.
He ran so well.
You could tell he was, very bummed about it, but he even said, it just sucks because, we could have won by, 10 plus seconds.
I know. Watching him fall back and zoom back up, I was like, he's got the speed. He could have won by a landslide.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And Kyle Larson's not my favorite guy, but he is somebody that's cool to watch, in this season, because I think in the future when we're old, people will be like, oh, Kyle Larson, one of the legends. And we'll be like, we saw him in his prime, you know? Even if we don't love him, it'll still be cool to like talk about.
Very much do not love him.
But I think it's cool what he does. And like he just does so much in the race world, period.
I mean, yeah, I can't deny he's great as much as I'd like to. Like, he is. I just don't know what it is about him. I just like, ugh. And after this weekend, darn him. Darn him to heck. As Sweet Life of Zach and Cody would say.
Well, he didn't do anything wrong. He just won, and we didn't want him to.
Did, but like, it's just like, of all people, I mean, I'm thankful it was him and not Kyle Busch. Let me just make that clear. However, and I'm glad it was Kyle Larson over Alex Bowman.
Yeah.
But, like, come on. We should have had a Corey Heim and a Blaney win this weekend. And because their vehicles decided to not be vehicles anymore.
Yeah.
We got 2 Larson wins instead. Like, no, thank you. I'll pass on that.
Why is it not showing me where? I was trying to say, where did Kyle Busch even finish today? Because I think I had him picked to win. Just, I don't know. I was like,
you did. You did.
Like, I feel like
we both had Larson as second. I had Blaney at first, which would have been accurate.
He led so much. What did they say? He led like 136 laps or something?
Yeah, something like that.
Or maybe. It was something. It was a lot. It was like.
It was a lot.
It was a lot. And then his engine blew up. And.
Quite literally.
Literally blew up. He would have definitely.
Kyle Busch finished 21st.
Okay. That's what I thought. But I was like, am I reading this right? Also, rip to little Hosey once again, man.
I know. There was one point where I was like, wait a darn minute. Where did he go?
Yeah. Trent said, oh, boo-hoo. No, but it's like conspiracy. He got told off by people, and now his cars are just not doing good for him.
I literally had that conversation today. I was like, I'm gonna have to pick new favorites because apparently anybody that I choose to like this season has issues. SVG, Blaney, Carson, we got stinking Corey Heim. None of their cars want to car.
Yeah. No, this is the second time for Blaney, isn't it? That his engine literally blew up.
Oh, dude, don't even get me started on little Miss Jamie Little today. Oh, she made me so mad. I know, I'm giving her the benefit of the doubt because I'm sure she thought like the camera was already off of her as she's like, throwing it back to what's his face, and what is his name? Like Mike something.
Mike Joy.
Anyways. The only reason I know that is because he's the guy who always calls Danny died. He's like, all right, Mikey. It just makes me laugh so hard. It's slight pettiness. But anyways, Jamie's little today and her, like, walking away from Blaney, like, turning her back to him and be like, the 3rd DNF for Blaney this season.
At least he turned around. Maybe he didn't hear. Yeah.
Dang.
I mean, it is facts, but yeah.
It is, but it just seems so cold-hearted.
Yeah. Yeah.
You didn't have to turn your back on him while you're talking trash.
3rd DNF.
3rd DNF for Ryan Blaney this season. Back to you, Michael.
That does suck, though, because he's not a bad racer at all. And he's
so good.
Yeah.
So good.
That's wild. That's wild that keeps happening.
And if I remember correctly, he had like a good turned crappy day last year in Miami.
It sucks though, because even the people in the booth were like, we got to keep an eye on that because that's the 2nd time for him. I was like,
well, and they even said, it's kind of weird that that's the only Ford that's having issues. I was like, yeah, why can't Logano's car blow up every here and there? Come on.
He's blowing up, just in a different way.
Yuck.
Yeah. But I think I had the most notes about the truck race, to be honest. Like, I thought it was cool that Chastain ran. I don't remember how he placed, but he did well for a while. And then Larson tried to do all 3 of the races this weekend. Okay, this is what I wrote a note about. I wish I had the media grab so I could put this on there. When Hocevar they were doing the drivers only broadcast, and they had
Chastain
Hocevar.
placed 6th in
Oh,
the truck race.
yeah. I knew it wasn't bad, but yeah. When Hocevar went to go interview Chastain, like, first of all, it's so funny that they picked them two.
For real.
And then I thought Chastain was trying to be like kind of funny, and he said, if anybody missed it, I'm just glad to see you've got a microphone in your hand, not a steering wheel. And the best part, Hocevar goes, all right, well. No. He said, all right, sounds good, Ross. Dude, I don't know why I got delirious that night. I was so tired, and I was showing Trent, and I watched the replay of that like 5 times. I was about to pee my pants. I was crying. I was like, that is the best, like, stupid moment.
Because you know in your heart of hearts that Hocevar wanted to be so petty right back, but couldn't because I gotta do my job.
I think he was so nervous about doing the thing that he just didn't know what to say. And so I feel like Ross.
You respond to that?
I know. I feel like Ross was trying to be funny because after Hocevar was like, all right, sounds good, Ross's face was like, okay, like, all right.
Did not land.
Yeah. I literally watched it like 5 times. I thought it was the funniest thing. And I don't even care about either one of them really. Like, I mean, you got a shirt on, but like, I'm just like, eh. But that freaking cracked me up.
I love Carson Hocevar. He cracks me up so stinking bad.
He's a funny guy with his Hawaiian shirt he was wearing in Miami for the drivers only, and then his little social media post where he was pretending like he was in GTA. That was great. That was great, actually. Forget the racing part.
I love his class clown energy. It's my favorite. We love the comedic relief, even though everybody loves to hate him.
It's because I think he's like the quiet class clown. Like, he just does funny stuff randomly, but he's also kind of like, like Noah Gregson is like a class clown, but he's also like the class dumb, you know what?
Mm-hmm.
We don't like to cuss on this show. We just like to let you know what we're thinking is a cuss word. He's a dumb, you know what? All the time. And they even talked about that today when who was it? Bowman. They were doing like a parade lap on this trailer, but they were doing a live interview with him. And he was like, turned around to everybody. He's like, this is live, you guys. Don't do anything stupid. And they're like, who do you think would do anything stupid? And he's like, Noah, definitely. Which he did say stupid stuff today, twice, on the radio that they have recorded and in the live interview. And people are like, why did you say that? He said he was bricked up for this week.
No.
I was like, okay. So then I immediately looked on Urban Dictionary. I was like, is that what I think it means? That I've seen people say it means? And to be fair, there's multiple definitions. It could mean you're excited or you have anxiety.
Mm-hmm. Definitely those. Those.
Yeah. And not the other ones.
Nope. Definitely not.
I like to think he meant he's hard, like he's ready, like I'm hard, like like when your muscles are hard and not not the other thing, but but it's Noah Gregson, so we all know what he meant. He's an idiot, but that's why.
I'm gonna clip this part and post it as a story and tag him in.
Yeah, for real. But look this is what I'm talking about. The haircut. Hey, rough. That's the haircut he had when he tried to punch Ross Chastain. So it was amazing because Ross punched him and his hair went flying because it is this stupid haircut. Oh, yeah. This one's fading really bad. I need a new one. I think I'm just going to get... Let me just move my camera so I see him. I think I just want this one huge with his shirt unzipped. I don't know. I might get a real NASCAR shirt though. I don't have one. I just have this one that I got custom made on Etsy.
Way too freaking many.
I know. I need to be legit like you and get real ones.
It's like all I wear when I have to find something. Like my mom will call me and she'll be like, "All right, we have to go here. No NASCAR shirts." I'm like, about that.
It's a family dinner. Wear something nice.
I actually don't own anything other than NASCAR shirts at this point.
Wear something nice tonight. All right, I'll wear my newest Jessie Love shirt.
So my new Jessie Love shirt, he's all sparkly in it. It's fine.
This one's a long sleeve, so it's actually not a t-shirt.
And don't have any of those. They're all t-shirts. And 90% of them are black.
Dude, okay, we have a white dog. This is a rant. This is a tangent. We have a white dog, and he's a beagle, and he's one of those dogs that's like, you love him, but he's so dumb. He's just so dumb. But also, he sheds so bad. So, like, you can just walk into my house and not even sit down or touch anything, and you'll leave, and you'll have white hair all over you. It's so bad. So, like, we cannot wear black. And I need Noah, get a new merch designer. Because all of his
Corey
merch
Haim,
is white or black.
A new merch designer. Can we talk about the fact that Corey Haim has 2, technically 3, let me be so for real, 3, I don't want to call them merches because that sounds so stupid, but that's the only thing that's
merches.
3 of them. Anyways, he has 3 shirts. Obviously, you can get them all in, like, hoodies or crew necks or long sleeves or t-shirt, whatever. But, like, 2 of them are Haim Time shirts, right? I have the first one. I ordered the second one. Or it's the Safe Flight with a little 11 on the sleeve. Like, come on, dog. Yeah. You are quite literally at this time, like, the most prominent full-time truck driver. Like, everybody knows you're that guy.
Listen.
Like,
this is what we need to do.
do something better.
We're both good at design, sort of. You're better than me. You have the t-shirt making capability. We'll just make our own merch. We'll send it to NASCAR, and we'll just get the royalties.
Like, so in order to get these released, you have to sponsor our podcast.
NASCAR. Whoever's in charge of merch. I designed this shirt. Or, well, I didn't design. I picked the pictures, and a designer on Etsy put the pictures where I wanted them. Okay? And the dude on Etsy sent it to me. And let's remind the audience of 4 people. I met Noah Gregson at the race at Kansas and showed him my shirt, and he thought it was sick. And sick. And he took a picture of it, which I joked to Trent. He took a picture of my boobs because he cut my head out of the picture.
He did.
And he tweeted it. Okay? And a lot of people liked it, and a lot of people are like, where'd you get that? I want one. And I was like, I'm not telling, because this is my shirt. And when it gets to be where it's too faded and I can't wear it anymore, I swear to God, I'm going to cut it and put it on the wall. Because he tweeted.
You should shadow box it with a little screenshot of the tweet. Tweet on a plaque.
Yes, I will put this in a box. I will fold it up or whatever, where it's just my shirt, and then I will take his tweet.
Shadow box it, get it etched. Etched out a little plaque.
I'm not even joking. Because also, this was...
Here lies the shirt that Noah Gregson tweeted that one time.
And probably doesn't remember. Oh, man. No, he saw it, and whoever was with him that was on the merch truck was cracking up looking at it. And he's like, wow, you really captured, like, some of my best and worst times there. Like, I know, so I love it. I wanted to make one where it had a picture of him throwing up over the side of the barriers. Because he did it like 4 times, and I was like, that's my guy.
That's psychotic behavior.
Of which one of us?
Yes.
Yes, that's the answer.
Both.
Oh, man. But speaking of him, he started 3rd today, I think. And then he finished like what? Like 13th or something?
Hey, you know what? That's better than Blaney or Hosmer finished.
16th. 16th. Yeah. Let's see.
Rip.
Yeah. Hosevar finished 37th.
Yeah. About that.
Okay, and let me say this. I was mad. I was starting to be like, okay, is my boy just not a finisher? Like, what's the deal? But the past several times, Okay, he finished 8th at Coda. All the other times, he got freaking wrecked out at some point. And so he didn't finish very well. But he's been starting in like the 16th or like 20th. Like that's where he starts races.
Mm-hmm.
So he's not doing terrible when he's qualifying. And then today he qualified 3rd. I was like, let's go! And then I listened to his radio all day today, and he just kept talking about how he was so tight. He couldn't ride the wall like he likes to do and normally does. So I think that was part of his problem.
I did not watch the Xfinity race.
Yeah.
However, Daniel Dye ended with a top 10 finish. So, like, pop off King. We love to see that. He's truly, like, my favorite underdog. I just love him. I really wish he would grow his hair back out, but, like, that's beyond the point. But top 9, 10 out of 10. Well, actually, 9 out of 10. In the best way.
Actually, 9 out of 10. Amazing.
That was phenomenal, though. And did Josh Williams, like, stay in the car all race?
Yeah.
Pop up, King.
I know, I was proud of him. I was like, you go.
You go, Mr. Pneumonia Man.
Yeah. Yeah. So, reminder for the audience, he's, like, been...
For the audience of all 2 of you.
All 2 of you. This is my philosophy. This is for the future audience. When something catches on...
When they want to go find the OGs.
And they want to listen to races that are, like, 6 months old. Okay, he's been having pneumonia since, like, what, the first race of the year?
Since Daytona.
That's a long time to have pneumonia, bro. That's a long time.
Is Daytona technically the first race? I mean, the first one, like matters.
Yeah, there's some other race before that, but nobody...
The Rumble? Is that what they call it?
I did not watch that.
I did.
Yeah, well. But yeah, he's had it since then, and then last week he had to get out of his car and let Ty Dillon race for him. Mm-hmm. And then this week they said, so he races half of it to get points.
Standby. Yeah, well, he had to because of the fact that he's a full-time driver.
Yeah.
So he had to at least start the race in order to, like, keep his seat kind of deal.
Yeah. So then they said at some stage they were going to switch, but then I guess he came on the radio and said he felt really good, and so they were like, all right, Ty, go home. Which, that sucks for him.
Well, yeah, but
who cares?
Oh my gosh. Speaking of, is it Ty Dillon? Maybe it's Austin Dillon. Austin Dillon. Okay. I was completely unaware. I will send you the reel that I'm talking about just so you know what I'm talking about. I was unaware that Austin Dillon used to be like a bull rider. I don't know if he still is. So I'm going to go with used to be, might possibly still be. I know that he like owns a, I guess a team, I guess. I don't know. I can't even remember what it's called.
A bull riding team?
Yes.
Bro.
Yeah. Okay, so scrolling through Instagram Reels, and I find this reel. I just sent it to you so you can know what I'm talking about. Scrolling through Instagram Reels, and I come across this reel of Austin Dillon when he like flipped crazy bad. Does it say when this was? Okay, 2015 wreck at Daytona. Okay, and he like his car was like
when he was 12,
crushed up tin can, like genuinely like beyond impressed that he like isn't dead. Wow. He gets out of his car and then he does the now my brain can't even think. The Lane Frost wave. Right? You know what I'm talking about?
No.
Okay. So Lane Frost is a bull rider and he like there's a whole movie about him called 8 Seconds, which to this day is the only movie that has ever made me cry in my life. And so he gets out of his car and to like prove everybody that he's like okay, he does the Lane Frost wave, which is one of these but like arms all the way out, right? And I get mad because I'm like, no, you don't get to do that. And then I do further research. I'm like, oh, homie actually has like history in bull riding. Like that's crazy talk.
That's cool.
It is cool, but also don't be doing no Lane Frost waves. Not cute. I mean, that was 2015.
Do
so,
not
like,
pop off.
Yeah. 10 years ago, but like don't do it again.
I hope you haven't done it since.
Glad you're okay.
That's funny.
But honestly, I was like watching it and I was like, that was weird. And it, like, choked me up, which, like, I am not a crier when it comes to things that, like, anything.
When it comes to anything?
Like, unless you're my kids or you make me really mad, like, I'm not a crier.
Yeah.
And so, I was like,
where is this coming from? That's funny.
It got me, though. I was like, bro. And then it made me mad. So I was like, hold the phone.
I don't like who's making me cry.
I will say, though, like, Austin Dillon, I don't dislike as much as Ty Dillon. I cannot stand Ty Dillon at all.
Let me say something here. I only don't like him for the same reason Trent doesn't like him, which it takes a lot for Trent not to really like you. I don't like him because it feels like he only got the number 3 car because of nepotism. Austin Dillon.
I'm sorry.
The older of the Dillon brothers,
Ooh.
who drives the number 3.
Yes.
I only really don't like him because he gets to drive the number 3 car and he gets to keep that, like, color scheme that Dale Earnhardt had. Like, when we bought my son at our first race, we bought him an Austin Dillon number 3 hat because he said that was his favorite driver because he picked him when he was 3. And everywhere we go, I mean, it's a black, like, trucker hat, like the ones that are coming back in style. And it's black with a white number 3 with red trim. And everybody thinks it's a Dale Earnhardt hat because on the very back, it's a teeny tiniest little Austin Dillon logo. And I'm like, 2 things. You shouldn't have that because you're not very good. And everybody knows you just got this because of nepotism, which I hate to say that, but, like, come on, bro.
It's so true.
And number 2...
They quite literally said that the only ones that would ever receive... The only ones that could ever drive the 3 would be Dillon's or Earnhardt's.
Yeah.
They're the only ones who could pick whatever number they wanted and it would be fine.
Well, I hate that because I also feel like they should have, like in a lot of sports, they retire people's numbers.
Yep, absolutely.
They should have retired Dale Earnhardt's number.
Absolutely.
It's so iconic.
I feel like that should be, like, common sense, too. No matter who the frick it is, if homie is dying, I should not call him homie. Mr. Dale, I apologize so hard. If someone is literally dies on the track, regardless of who they are,
you should retire their number.
Retire their number. Like, that just seems like common sense to me. Common courtesy, respect. Like, that to me seems like, hello.
Okay, because listen, we got how many cars out there? Like 40 cars. And we've got numbers 1 to 99 to pick from. 0 to 99.
And at that, you can have a 7 and you can have an 07. So, like, it's fine. On the track at the same time. Like, you have options. Toss a 0 in front of your 3 for crying out loud.
And I don't know what happened to the 3 when he died. Like, I don't know all the situation of how that number changed hands and how Austin came to get it. But I just... even if it was like Kyle Larson or somebody like big and very good and like like kind of he's going to be a legend one day, I still would hate it because I don't feel like anybody should be driving that car.
The only person that I could think should have the ability to do so would have been Dale Earnhardt Jr. Like, that to me is the only reason, and even at that, like, would it still give me like the probably, but it's his dad.
Yeah.
Like, I could understand that. But, I mean, he doesn't even race anymore.
Or he has a team now. Let him pick who the number goes to. Like...
True.
Or, like, what has he been doing since he quit? He has to have been involved in some kind of way where... I don't know. I just... Maybe Austin Dillon has Dale Jr.'s, whatever, A-okay with it. But, personally, I hate it.
Well, also, it could be one of those things, too, where, like... It could just be hard to never, like, for the Earnhardt family to not see the 3 on the track at all. Like, I'm sure there's other ways to look at it, and I'm sure that it's something that the Earnhardts have talked to NASCAR about. I would assume, hello, that'd be kind of crazy not to have that conversation being what it is.
Yeah.
But, I don't know, it does seem weird to me. I have always thought that as well. And it's like, I don't understand how just this random man was like, yeah. I want that, except for nepotism.
Yeah. Because, like I said...
And at that, like, I would love to know his reasoning. for one thing.
Yeah, because also if you have any respect for Dale Earnhardt, why would you want to take that upon yourself? I would not want that responsibility to be the number 3.
And also, like, not to be that person, but like, you wouldn't catch me in the 3. That has bad juju written all over it.
That too, man.
I'm good on that.
Yeah.
I am so good on that.
The only thing I can think of is that maybe it has to do with the team. Do teams own numbers? I'll have to ask. I'll have to get a Trent take tomorrow.
Yes, they do.
So
I mean, like the Penske's, they have 2, 12, 22. Like,
yeah, that's right.
They pick their, like, what they want.
Yeah, because I was thinking that, like, in the other sports world, when you retire a number, it's just for that team. So is NASCAR trying to keep it that way? So, like, a different team can use the number 3 in those colors? You know what I mean? But NASCAR is such a small sport, you know. I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't care who it is.
I literally could not even tell you who Austin Dillon races for. If I'm being so for real.
Oh, I forget. We talked about it last time, and I don't remember now. He's the grandson of RCR team owner Richard Childress. There it is.
No. Well, then I guess he's probably races for RCR. That makes sense.
Yeah, I guess. And the son of Mike Dillon, who's a former racing driver who currently works at RCR's as RCR's general manager.
Also, can we talk about everybody calling this cat, I don't even know who this dog is, Big Pappy? Because I've been seeing it all over Instagram, and it's really making me sick to my stomach.
Are you talking about the dude? It's what's his name? It's a baseball player.
We keep calling him Big Pappy.
Yeah, that was his nickname, and he's retired now, but he's like a funny
David
guy.
Ortiz.
Yeah.
Big Pappy Ortiz. His name on Instagram is quite literally Big Pappy Ortiz. But you know what that reminds me of? That one movie where the kid's like, I love it when you call me Big Papa.
No, I knew that was his name. That's funny.
Put your hands in the air.
What I want to know is, why do they call Kyle Larson Young Money? Have you seen that?
Like, why you in?
Yeah.
Is that because he's Japanese?
I don't know. I don't know. Also, he's 31.
Not to be insensitive, but
is that a cultural spelling? Dead. That's so funny.
Don't cancel us.
Yeah, no, that's a genuine question. We are not in with the hip crowd.
I don't understand.
Oh, man. I don't either. I asked Trent that. I was like, why do they call Kyle Larson Young Money? He's like, I really don't know. Because there is a Young Money that is refers to Lil Wayne. Little. That's how white I am. Little Wayne. Yeah, no. So I don't see how Kyle Larson would be related to that. I don't get it. I don't know, maybe just because he's a BA.
I want to know. Here, let's Google it. Why?
Why do they call Kyle Larson that? That's so funny. Is that a cultural spell? That's a fair question.
Originated in his early ASAC, United States Auto Club career, where a series official recognized his talent and adaptability to different types of race cars, giving him the moniker. That's the dumbest explanation I've ever heard.
What does young and money have to do with that? I don't get it. There's somebody else that has a stupid nickname on the track, and I was like, that doesn't make sense either. I can't even remember who it was now. So I was like, okay. Anyway, speaking of him, the Xfinity race, I got so pissed off at Sam Mayer. I don't even love Kyle Larson. I just respect him as a very good racer who's gonna make history. And he literally, this is how it went down, y'all. He led 132 laps. He had a 15-second lead with 8 laps to go. A 15-second lead, my guy. And then a caution happened. And so then it's the restart. And freaking Sam Mayer got got his bumper, which made him pull back, and he was way behind, and he freaking lost. There was 2 laps to go, and he couldn't catch back up, and he lost. And I'm like, that's so freaking stupid, because he could have had a 3-win weekend, and that would have been really cool to see.
John.
She's like, could not care less. No, it just would have been cool to see anybody get a 3-peat win like that. Like, just
not any of the Kyles.
not even
I'm good on that. I'm good on that.
Hot take. We might have to cancel the show after this. I don't know if we can be friends.
Oh gosh.
Kyle Busch might be growing on me.
Disgusting.
He might be growing on me. Well, it's all the stuff you watch.
Well, it was nice while it lasted. Happy 6th episode.
We made it.
That's all she wrote.
1 6-episode season. Yeah.
We'll come back after Kyle Busch's retirement and try this again.
Yeah. Not to disappoint our fans.
50 years. Nasty.
Yeah, well then it'll be his kid. His kid's already, 10 or something? So he probably doesn't have very much longer till he's up in the Xfinity,
well,
at least.
when he's old enough, they're sharing a truck. That's Kyle's, thing. Dream, or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. And then also
Braxton,
Kyle Larson's kid. They're like the same age.
That's his name?
Yeah.
Braxton.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Pop off, King.
I think he's not as bad a guy off track as he is on the track. On track, he's like, you hate him.
I saw about a 20-second clip of him talking about Hosey Baby, and that's all I needed.
Hosey Baby.
He gone. We're done.
I watched that interview. It was Kevin Harvick's happy hour, but it was only 25-minute interview of them. And he said that when Kyle
ain't learned nothing, which is a double negative, so you're stupid.
They learned nothing. He said Hocevar ran him into the fence when they were doing late models or something, when Hocevar was 13 or 14. First of all, kid's 13 or 14. But he said it's like a pattern that Hocevar still does dumb crap and then doesn't apologize or have any kind of real remorse for it and stuff. And he said it's because he hasn't learned anything, because he doesn't have a mentor. And Kevin Harvick's, I think, maybe asked him, or he just said, people are like, well, why don't you mentor him? And he's like, because we don't race the way we used to when people had mentors. I had a mentor, and Kevin Harvick had a mentor, whoever that was. He's like, it's just a different landscape of the sport.
I mean, sure, but also at the same time, there are still people on the track that have mentors. Currently, Denny Hamlin is Corey Haim's mentor.
Yeah. Also
a spotter in one of his...
Really?
Yeah, I don't remember. Cool. It may have just been because he was racing Xfinity this weekend as well.
Mm.
And it might just be because he's doing that, driver, whatever that thing's called.
Mm-hmm.
What's that thing called?
I don't know.
Anyways, he's doing it with 2311, so I'm sure that's why. The driver's
only thing?
I don't remember what it's called. But he's doing it through 2111. 2311. Good Lord have mercy. So I'm sure that's probably why, but that's what he was. I saw an Instagram post or reel, something about it, saying that he thought it was the coolest thing ever because Denny Hamlin was an idol to him growing up.
Mm.
And so it's cool having him as an owner and a mentor and a spotter. But I'm thinking that's only through the Xfinity series when he's racing through.
Yeah. I don't know. I see what he's saying, but also Christopher Bell is not that much older than Hocevar, I don't think, and I don't know. It seems like he has a lot more respect for bigger names than maybe Hocevar does, but also...
Which I understand there's an aspect of respect, I get that, but at the same time, NASCAR is such an individual sport. Yeah. Sure, there's teams, yeah, obviously, but it's an individual sport. If you don't like the fact that somebody is not showing you all the respect that you think you deserve, shut up and get over it.
Yeah. Or dish it back out. I don't know.
Yeah, if you have that big of a problem, do something about it. Don't just cry to somebody else on their podcast about it. That is the issue I have. Kyle Busch always wants to dish out,
mm-hmm.
but he will never confront somebody about it.
I think he used to, and now he's got kids who are racing
a time or two. So
maybe that. I think too he did mention that it's hard. His kid wants to act certain ways, and he's learn from my mistakes that there's better ways to handle things.
Which I like, that's totally valid. Like, and also, there are so many people who are gonna dislike the way that you're doing things, no matter who you are. I mean, here I am, a host bar fan, and I absolutely hate Kyle Busch, as where most people would probably be flip-flopped on that. But the thing that just drives me insane by, like, every racer ever is that they all want to sit there and cry and complain about somebody else racing them too hard or doing this too ridiculously.
But they do it right back.
This is blah. Stop crying at the camera about it. Confront them about it. Tell them, hey, this isn't cool. Or shut up.
Punch somebody. Bring back the drama.
Crying to your mama about it ain't gonna do crap. It's really not.
That's what I wonder. That we've maybe talked about.
That's what I appreciate so much about. I'm trying to remember who it was.
We have amnesia tonight. It's fine.
I think it was. I think. Well, it was last year. It was one of the. I think it was Tanner Gray. One of the Gray brothers confronted somebody last year, and they were like, "Hey, like that's not cool." And they're like, "Yeah, you did it to us." She's like, "Not like that." And Jesse Love had an issue with that last year, so, or maybe it was Corey Haim. One of the two said something to the effect of like they were confronted about, hey, like confronted somebody about like, hey, leave space. Actually, I think it was Corey Haim. It was Corey Haim and one of the Gray brothers, actually. But saying like, you are too aggressive, but we leave room. Like, not enough.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous to me how people want to cry and complain. But like, also, Kyle Busch will do anything he can not to take responsibility for something.
Yeah.
And that is something that, like, I don't care who you are, that annoys the crap out of me.
Yeah.
Like, at least Hosevar will be there and he's like, yeah, that was stupid, I shouldn't have done that. Like, maybe not to that person's face, but like, in interviews later on down the line. Kyle Busch is always, it's always like a Austin Hill experience afterwards. Like, oh, feel bad for the guys.
Or he's just so angry afterwards. It's like, sometimes it's just not your day. I don't know.
And it just makes me laugh so hard because everybody's like, oh, well, everybody's reaction would be like that. Go look at Ryan Blaney and tell me again. Try again.
He had a really good.
Because he gets the crap into the stick so often.
Yeah.
So often. And outside of the car, calm, cool, and collected. Inside the car, that's a different story. But
bleep, 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 bleep.
For real, literally today, he was blowing up his radio set. Ooh.
Yeah.
He really had it out for that Todd Gilliland or whatever his name is today. Yeah. He had a few choice words for him, but. Yeah. Oh, speaking of which, we should talk about that has nothing to do with him, but we should talk about the pit road thing
with Christopher Bell.
Yeah, this ring around the rosy.
So, what I seemed to have gathered today is that NASCAR is cool with it because it was a safety move. Like, if he hadn't have pitted at his teammate's pit stall, his tire would have come off and caused a lot more problems. But he's...
I'm so confused. Are we talking about from Phoenix?
Oh, yeah, I thought that's what you're talking about.
No. I'm talking about today with,
Oh, he spun somebody around?
Yeah, but somebody was like back. It was Joey Logano and somebody else. They ended up like backwards.
I think it was like Josh Berry.
I think it was Josh Berry. You're right.
I don't know who caused that. That was such a like cluster frick.
Well,
like,
it was because they all went like 4 wide or something. It was crazy.
What I was talking about was
they weren't counted as like any type of penalty or anything because they were still within their own pit box.
What?
It doesn't matter. That's what the announcer guy said. Something about like it doesn't matter what direction you're facing in your pit box as long as you're in your pit box.
Interesting.
But that caused Kyle Larson like damage. On pit lane today.
Yeah, that was wild.
Obviously, I didn't
was like,
on.
What just happened? I was so confused. And I think it happened more than once, something similar to that.
Get it.
Yeah, I don't
I
know.
don't know. I was dozing off.
Yeah.
But after blaming, like, I stopped caring. I started doing the dishes. I don't even like doing dishes, but I was like,
Yeah.
screw this, right?
Yeah. No, what I was talking about was it seems like they're gonna be cool with the Christopher Bell thing from last week where he stopped in a teammate's pit box because it was a safety thing. Like if he hadn't stopped there, his tire would have come off. But they said if you do that, if you stop in a teammate's pit box, it has to be for something like that. It can't be any kind of modification or
That makes
like
sense.
gas or anything. Like if it's any kind of modification, you can't do that. But since they were all saying it would have been a lot more dangerous and bad for the race and everything if he had gone out and his tire came off trying to get back around.
That's fair.
So I was like, that's fair. And everybody's like, well, it's unfair to one team car, like one car teams. And I'm like, yeah, but I don't know. You can't. You just. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. I feel like you can't. I don't know. Change rules to
I
accommodate
feel like
every
it.
single person always all the time. Like you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I see both sides. There's definitely like advantages and disadvantages to everything, but I feel like at that point it's almost like then they need to just create a zone where it's like after this zone,
Mm,
you can stop in this section,
yeah.
like, on pit road or something like that. Just because also, like, what happens if the dude in the first pit box has that issue? Then it's going
Yeah.
to be, like, they don't have, even if there is, like, a 4 or 5 car team at that point, like,
Yeah.
they don't have the option of starting. So it almost seems like there needs to be, like, a safety zone kind of
Yeah.
deal. But,
Or maybe just do what you're supposed to do better and then that won't happen to
yeah,
anybody.
maybe
Because
take 0.2 seconds longer to,
yeah. Because
yeah.
I think if nobody else is on pit, they can back up, but they just can't do it while somebody's on there. I don't know. I'll have to look that up. But I was also thinking, Chris Meyer said this, the little pop, the announcer duty before the races. Um, there's there's cars that maybe aren't on the same team, but like teams work together or people have the same
Like fire and hydric,
manufacturers,
like that. Yeah.
so people might be able to, or like you having a lot,
Manufacturers would make sense.
yeah, yeah. So I don't know. I don't. I at first I was like, yeah, they need to make a rule against that because people exploit it, and I guess they kind of did. You can only go there like if literally your tire's falling off, and it's a safety thing, but not
Yeah.
anything else. So hmm. I think a
I
lot of
don't hate
drivers
it, but I
weren't mad
don't
about
love
it.
it.
Yeah,
I'm kind of indifferent. Like, okay. I mean, if it keeps other people safe, cool, but obviously there still are, like, disadvantages to that as well.
yeah.
But I feel like that's every rule, so.
I feel like a lot of drivers or like retired drivers seemed cool with it. So that made it seem like, okay, maybe that is a smart thing. But it was
Yeah.
funny, was it Jamie McMurray was on there and he's like, that happened to me and I was the pit crew if I was the crew chief and somebody else from another team or another whatever, another car came to my pit box, I'd be like, no, go back to your own. Like, I'm not helping you. I want to win. Why would I help you? And I was like, that's fair too. Like, you don't I mean, I guess it's not really up to the crew chief, it's up to the team owners. You don't want to make the team owner mad.
That's true.
I mean, was it Jeff Gordon was literally sitting in Alex Bowman's box. You're gonna tell me Kyle Larson comes to Bowman's box and that crew chief is gonna be like, no, with Jeff Gordon sitting right there? No, not gonna happen.
Probably not. I don't know. I'm very, like, I get it, but I don't get it. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
But I feel like that's how I am with, like, all things NASCAR. I get it, but I don't get
I get it, but I don't get it, and I like it, but I don't.
it. I'm such a woman about these things.
I just a girl. Oh man. Yeah. And then I didn't have like any notes for the race today, really, just like my boy.
That was really.
He
I felt robbed.
Yeah, that's fair. That was the main thing. He led so much that it kind of got like boring after a while. I was like, okay, is anybody else gonna
I was not bored at all. That's how I felt with Corey Himes' race too. Like, I was literally standing in my living room, like, screaming at my TV at, like, 9 p.m. Like, let's go. My kids are in bed, and I'm like, oops.
Yeah.
I was having the time of my life until I wasn't.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I made it to like 20 or 30 laps to go. And I realized Gregson just wasn't going to be able to get up to the front because the front three were so much faster, and he was so tight all race. He was complaining about it. I mean, in a respectful way. He's very respectful so far this year on the radio.
So far.
So far. To be fair, I've not listened to the radio a ton of other times, so I don't know how he's been before, but he was just like telling them, and his crew chief was like, all right, we'll do what we can, we'll do what we can. And then it's like, one time they tried to fix it and they made it worse or something. I don't know. It was a mess. So when I realized he didn't really have much of a chance, and I laid down, took a nap with my kid because he's having growing pains. He was really emotional today, and he was like, I just want to nap with you. I was like, that's fair. I have a headache, and my guy's going to lose. So perfect time. I did watch it later. I turned it on where I left off later and watched it, but yeah. It was a good race. It was a fun race. I guess Miami is where the championship race was going to be, and then they moved it to Phoenix. Is what I've heard word on the street, something like that. People are like, it should definitely be at Miami.
All I know is that the first playoff race for Xfinity is in St. Louis this year. And I have my tickets.
I'm dying, dude. I'm dying to buy mine. Oof. We gotta wait. See if we can get them for freezies.
We got them last weekend.
Nice. Because if we get them for free, then I want to pay to do like extra stuff. If we don't get them for free,
extra stuff does not really seem all that extra this year. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, I looked into it.
We just like the driver intros, like being on the grass. Like, that was so cool. They were so close. I was like, oh, they're right there. Okay, so when we went to Kansas, we did all that for the Cup race, and we went down on the field to do the driver intros. And Trent is always like, wants to be super early, and I'm not. I'm like, why? Who cares? It doesn't start for like 45 more minutes. Why would we go down there right now? But it was like his day, and I was like, okay, babe, whatever you want to do. And they have like little things for you to watch while you're down there waiting. But we got down there early, and there's maybe 100 people around the stage. We were like, there's a couple people in front of us, and then everybody started packing in, and there's maybe one person in front of me, and then the fence, and then the stage where the drivers are coming out. And by the time the intro started, I turned around, and it was like the whole infield. It was like the whole infield was packed of people. I was like, good call, coming early.
Good call.
Good call.
Good call.
For once, I'll admit, you're right. You're right.
It's so funny.
But yeah. Then Lincoln today, his new favorite driver is Kyle Larson because it's number 5 and he's 5. And we're like, you can't change every year, bro. And Trent's like, he could until he's 13. There's all the numbers till he's 13. But anyway, he was talking about it, and he's like, oh, I can't wait to go to a race and tell him you're my favorite driver ever. And we're like, oh, okay, you can go to a Cup race this year, buddy.
I would say cute. I support it, but okay.
At least he's a good knight. I mean, he's I don't know. He could pick a worse guy. It could be Austin Dillon still.
Austin Hill.
Oh man. Yeah.
But listen, when homie's 8, we ain't changing it.
Nah, guy. Cannot. For sure. No, I tried to convince him to actually keep being an Austin Dillon fan. I was like, bro, we got you this hat last year and it cost $40. Please, still Trent was like, anything he wants. He can pick one of anything he wants. And the first thing he grabbed was like one of those model things, like with the truck and the car. It was like, but it was like $100. And Trent's like, not that. Why did you pick a hat or a shirt?
I'm waiting for my diecasts to come in. I just bought a few.
Yeah.
I bought 3.
These are all Trent's uncles that passed away not a couple years ago, and his mom gave them to us because we're like the only NASCAR fans in the family. Yeah. I don't know a lot of people, but he does have a couple of Dale Earnhardts on here. So I should look. Like, I wouldn't sell any of them, but see what they're worth because some of them are old. Some are like old school ones.
I think I actually don't remember what all I have coming. I know I have the like band Jordans, Tyler Reddick coming.
Nice.
And I want to say maybe I have a Blaney coming. Maybe I have 3 coming, but I cannot remember who the other 2 are. I want to say it's Blaney and Corey High. That sounds about right.
I've seen them at
sounds
Walmart.
Like something I would do
when we go in the car aisle, the kids' car aisle.
Yeah.
If I found an Austin Cindric one, I'd get it for Trent, and if I found a Noah Gregson one, you bet your butt I'd get one. But I don't think I can make myself buy one online.
That's where I got mine.
Too much a penny pincher.
But I want to say like a couple, 1 maybe 2 of them that I got were like pre-orders. So
nice.
Of course, they take 12.5 years.
Yeah.
I'm still waiting on my other Carson Host sweatshirt, my boy band shirt. It was supposed to be delivered yesterday. And that didn't happen.
That'll be a fun one.
I up with that. Hello. Actually, I did get my Jessie Love shirt, Metallica shirt. No, wrong. Daytona shirt.
I know, I keep messing them up too. Like, I know the difference.
Well, I have the Jessie Love Talladega shirt, but that was last year.
Yeah.
And so this year I have my Jessie Love Daytona shirt, which is such a sick shirt. Like, it looks so good.
Yeah.
And then I also ordered the new Heim Time shirt, even though I have the old Heim Time shirt, but this one's really freaking sick too. So I was like,
yeah.
And he never has new merch.
Yeah.
Ever. Unless it's a respectfully stupid Safelite 11.
Yeah. That's how I feel about. That's how I feel about some of Gregson's stuff.
Wet Safelite, like I don't know, like that's so boring.
I don't mind the Rush Trucks stuff, except for that so much of it is black, and I don't like wearing white T-shirts.
And I don't do a white.
I know. I just don't. I don't like it. And then that's like all the colors, and then I think maybe they have gray with blue for whatever that thing is. Some battery something, I think it is. And then there's the beef rod or whatever the heck that he ran today. And I'm like, I don't want a cheeseburger shirt. You know what I'm saying? like, I told Trent, I was like, I'm half tempted to just make another custom one because I don't like the ones they have.
Yeah. That's really like the issue. Like, I love Ryan Blaney so much, but I have only ever found like one piece of Ryan Blaney merch that like I actually like. And I have it. But it's like the majority of my shirts are black. I think I have one of my Jessie Love shirts is gray. This one is blue. And then I think I have a blue. No, it's not blue. It's orange. An orange Daniel Dye shirt. And that one doesn't even look like a racing shirt. It just looks like a beach shirt. Like a, like one of those like destination vacation shirts. And I'm pretty sure. Oh, and one of my Tyler Reddick shirts are gray. And then I have the blue Josh Williams shirt. Everything else I'm pretty sure is black. And I have like 15 shirts. Yeah. That's ridiculous. But also, I am a black t-shirt girly because I like to wear funky colored pants. So.
My white dog ruins that for me. Long story short, NASCAR needs to hire us to be their new merch designers. Anyway, well, where are we at next weekend? I don't even know.
I think give it a go-see.
I know Talladega's got to be coming up because they will not shut up about it in the commercials. I mean, fair, but like, it's just the same commercial over and over for Talladega.
This weekend would be the 30th. Yeah, so we're in Martinsville.
Heard that's a good one. Trent likes that one.
Oh, Virginia.
You know what? 10 out of 10 recommend that.
Pop off, King.
Pop off, guys. 10 out of 10. If you think racing is stupid and you think it's just driving in circles, find a friend or go somewhere where they have like a simulation thing. I that was Trent's Christmas present. It's his only Christmas present. I got him the stand, the pedals, the gear shifter, which he doesn't even use, and a steering wheel. And then he plays NASCAR Heat 2024, whatever it is, and it is so like accurate, like with the drag and like pull and the draft and when you get too close to the wall, like all this stuff, like it's really difficult. If anybody thinks NASCAR's easy, they should do that. And I think it's really fun as a race fan to race the tracks now because I'm like,
Oh, that's I've never thought about that.
Because you can see like, okay, this track is really hard, or oh, this track is cake. Like that's why this race is boring. But it's fun to see like the different things that they have to think about on different tracks, because they are
interesting.
When you're on them on a video game, they are very different. The amount of braking you have to do or not do or whatever, like it's just wild. You don't think about it till you do it. So 10 out of 10, everybody needs to race a simulator at some point. It's not a full simulator like the pros have, but it's technically simulated racing. And it's pretty fun. It's pretty fun. It's pretty fun. But yeah. Anyway, well, I guess we'll be there, and I don't know. I just want one fight this year, guys. Come on.
Yeah, for real.
Give me the good stuff.
Stop being nice to each other. Let's get a Blaney win.
Let's not have engines blow up for once, guys.
For real. Let's have cars that like work.
Goals for 2025. Don't blow up.
Let's get rid of Jamie Little.
Oh my god.
She really just did ticked me off there. Third DNF for Ryan Blaney. Shut up. Go do better. Yeah.
Stop reporting the facts. I don't want to hear them.
Stupid little ponytail.
Hey man. You know what? This is a random funny thing. Her and Chris Meyer both do dog shows together. Like they go and announce at dog shows. I'm like, that's so cute, actually. They're like, race, 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 and then they're like, puppy dog show. It's cute. Ooh, also, this is last rant of the night, probably. Chris Meyer, I discovered recently, and then I watched a clip of it today, was one of the first people to interview O.J. Simpson after his trials back in the day. That's kind of cool.
Did he ask him why the glove didn't fit?
I didn't know what all he asked, but he did ask him, "Do you think you're capable of killing people?" And Simpson was like, I would say no unless somebody did something to my kids. But it was interesting because he was talking to other people about the interview, and he said, there's no denying that he did it. It's just whether or not he had help or something like that. Like, ooh. And he said that O.J. Simpson was like, I'll do the interview with you, but we're going to do it live, and you can't talk about my kids. Because he was supposed to do the interview with Barbara Walters, but she wanted it recorded, and he was like, no, I'm not going to let you edit it and make me look bad. He agreed to do it live with Chris Meyer. I'm like, that's so...
Me defending O.J. Simpson? No.
No. That's fair.
Let me retract that statement.
It's fair for any normal person to think that.
Yeah,
but,
yeah, not him.
And then Chris Meyer said the craziest part of it was like they did a commercial cut for a minute, and O.J. Simpson invited him to go golfing, and Chris Meyer's like, I'm literally interviewing you about a murder, bro.
I don't even know what you're capable of with a darn golf club.
Yeah, for real though.
He pulls out the golf gloves.
He pulls out his golf glove. Dude, could you imagine going playing with O.J. Simpson? He pulls out his glove and his friends are just like, "This is fit."
O.J. Simpson has friends. That's wild. Could not be me.
Yeah, for real.
Yikes.
But anyway. Well.
Anyways.
We'll wrap it up, and hopefully this episode will get out soon. I have to go substitute teach tomorrow, so I won't be able to edit all day. But anyway, let's keep it up with our stories and get more Corey Haim views and maybe other big names. And to all
they're
of
always the stupid ones that I post too. Every time I'm like, bro, come on.
Yeah. No, we'll get some good ones when you get your boy band shirt in. We'll get maybe Hosevar to see that, and anybody else, just like and smash that subscribe button and tell your friends and do all the things. Do all the things.
Friends and tell your friends' moms.
If you're really our friend, then you'll like and subscribe.
Smash that subscribe button.
Anyways, alright, that's Katie&Rae, episode 6 in Miami. Dale.
No.